Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is very early morning here where I am, but I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Switchback Racing League. It is round 4 of season 2 for these guys. This week we are in Austria. Last week was... where were we last week? We were in... just let me bring it up. It's been a very busy week, so it's hard to remember. Oh, Spain, that's right. We were in Spain last week. So let's talk a little bit about last week. It was a cracking race in the end, actually. Honesy was able to take it out. So he started P10 and finished P1. So it was great for him. Zandvoort was a late entrant to the race last week. He started P20 and finished P2. And then Cool Beans, our pole sitter, ended up finishing P3. So really excellent race last week. Lots of action, a few sort of surprises and things in there. So hopefully we can get a similar result this week as well. If you haven't joined us before, we do short qualifying in this league. So it's an 18-minute qualifying, 50% race. It's assists that are allowed as well. And yeah, hopefully we get a good race today. Let me get everything set up here. All right, I think that's it. Awesome. So yeah, last week, yeah, Spain. This is obviously round 4 as I was mentioning. What have we had? So as far as pole positions, we'll talk a little bit about qualifying. The 3 rounds so far, Stuart Little was our pole sitter in Australia. Then Cornet F1 was pole position in France. And then last week it was Cool Beans, who is in the Racing Point, was in the Racing Point last week as well. So we'll see if we can get another pole sitter. A little bit about the Red Bull Ring, formerly the A1 Ring in Austria. It's a 4.31 kilometre circuit, so it's pretty small, but it packs a fair punch. 10 turns, world record times. We're probably looking at just under a minute at this stage, but we'll see what these guys can do today. I think there was talk of sort of 102s, 103s in there. But we're about to find out very shortly as we're riding on board with Schietto, the Italian Ferrari driver. He's the first one to take us around, and the track is already very busy. I believe today Will Ans, he has just the one lap for qualifying after a penalty from last week as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's a good little circuit. It's a little bit of that was a bit odd. Lots of elevation changes. I think corner cutting is regular today. Schietto has invalidated his lap. This is Oracle, who is beginning his lap now. Where are we? Cornet F1, he's at a pole already. Oh, okay, cool. So we've got our first times rolling in. Toss the Caber, sorry, I'm just trying to get on top of this. So Toss the Caber was on pole position, but Cornet F1 or 103.4. What about Mike Edwards? He's coming around. Mike Edwards sits at 104.1. Where is, I think, DTL Delta Lima. So Delta Lima's invalidated his lap time. That's all right. Lasse Haberhals, he has invalidated his lap time as well. So we can already see with the corner cutting regular, it's a track that you're bound to get a lot of invalidated laps. So Schietto goes to 108, so already in the 103s up the top there, so he'll want to go again. What about Red Dog? He's out there. He's just coming through turn 6 now. What about his teammate? No. Sorry, I'm just trying to... We'll stick with Red Dog. Yeah, so we can see some times coming in there. 103s, the top 4 guys, and then the next 4 are in the 104s at the moment. Red Dog just invalidated his lap. Williams is in the pits still. Cornet F1 coming into the pits. Okay. Alright, so there's a real flurry of activity there. I'll try and keep up with it as best as I can. As we see, Lasse Haverhal's going into the pits. I think we've got a AlphaTauri out there somewhere, I believe. Or Stuart Little, my man Stuart Little, rocking his the green and yellow signature helmet. Hope he's had his dinner tonight. He's ready to go. Let's see what he's got. So, yeah, so you sort of go up the hill for the right-hander for turn 1, and then it's then up the hill again for turn, well, not even turn 2. Just updated as well. Corner cutting strict, by the way. So I think I mentioned that it might have been regular. It is strict tonight. Okay, so let's keep an eye on this at the moment. Who are we on board with? We're on board with Stuart Little, that's right. Okay, so, yeah, corner cut. Looks like he set a purple sector, sector 2. We'll see if he can post a competitive time. And that is pretty competitive. It's a 104.08. So that's good enough for P6 at the moment for Stuart Little. We see Dace TG in the Renault. He is setting his fast time at the moment. We've got a couple of... Oh, yep, so I'm just trying to keep up. We've got the track pretty full at the moment. We've got just over 11 minutes left. 11 minutes and 15 seconds left of this short qualifying. Everyone's set a time except the bottom 8 guys so far. So 8 drivers yet to set a time. Full field today as well, 20 drivers, which is always good. Great turnout for this race. I think it was 20 drivers. We ended up with 20 last week as well, which is an excellent result. So Rainer Zufal in the Williams. Where did Rainer Zufal finish last week? Do you think he had an alright race? Oh, 17th. But he qualified... Oh, he qualified 17th. Alright, so he qualified 17th last week and finished 17th. He showed relatively good pace. I think he's just set a fastest purple sector there. Sector 2 as well. So, I can't remember what happened to him last week. Might have had some sort of incident, but we'll see what he's got here as he comes through turn 10. Hits the line with a 103.6, so that's good enough for P3. So good start from Rainer Zufal. Lasse Haverhals has invalidated his lap already, so we'll jump off board with him. Just riding on board with Dace at the moment, just having a look for cars that are out there. I think Cool Beans is doing a lap. So a pole sitter from last week has set a new time of 103.6, so he's currently P3 at the moment. Dace TG, he's invalidated. Lasse Haverhals, he's invalidated as well. So we're going to get a lot of invalidated laps. Oracle 91 sets the fastest lap at the moment, at 103.2. So great job from him. He goes the new provisional pole sitter at the moment. This is Delta Lima. He's 4/10 up at the moment. Usually has a No, we're with my man Van Rocco. I was going to say this is a different helmet for Delta Lima, but my man Van Rocco here just got the plain white helmet on. It's coming through Sector 3, about to come around 9 and 10, so he's currently set a 104.8, sitting in 13th position at the moment. And he moves up into P6 with a 103.6. So good time there by my man Van Rocco. Giamma, he's currently in P8 currently and has set a purple sector in Sector 2. So we'll see if he can improve on his time. He's at 103.9 at the moment. He's going to come across the line. He does better that time. He goes P4. So good result for Giamma there. What about Red Dog? I was going to just go to Red Dog. You just crossed the line. So a 104.4 by Red Dog. Kachow is on his outlap. So we're just right on board with him for now. I think that might be Delta Lima that is coming around. No, he's just coming up through turn 3 at the moment. Oh, is Honesy on a lap? Yes, he is. All right, Honesy. So our winner from last week had not a great qualifying P10, and he's P15 at the moment, 104.2. So a little bit of work to do for Honesy there. Frog LaBelle moves up as well. Is Oracle going for a new lap? No, or is it Giamma? Oh, I think Giamma's coming in. Yep. Kachow looks like he's come out for his first run as well in the Ayrton Senna inspired colour scheme helmet that he wears regularly. Where is he? So he was a race winner in round 2, France. Oh, he's spun. That's coming around the final turn. So does he have any damage? Come on, Cody's, get a better camera angle than that. We don't know. Can't see anything. I don't think he hit. So he spun on the last turn. He's going to have to go around, pit, and then go for another run again. So that's a bit disappointing for Kachow. What about Toss the Caber? Speaking of spinning, Toss the Caber has had a little bit of difficulty. So far he's been alright. He's actually had some good results. He finished, I think, 4th in France. So he wasn't too bad. He was DNF, I believe, in Australia. And then, where was he last week? He was 4th. So he goes alright in the SFR. And is pitting. Alright. Mike Edwards is on his outlap. We might just jump on board with Mike for a little bit while the other guys start their outlaps. So Kachow will have to go again. I believe he's coming around turn 9 at the moment. So, and then he's going to pit. Yep, so he'll have to go for a run. So the only drivers to not set a time at the moment is Lasse Haberhals, Dace, Williams and Kachow. So Williams only has the one opportunity to set a lap this round, serving his penalty. I wonder if that's Dace TG coming around for a time. It is. Let's see what Dace has got. 103.5. So Dace TG sets a time for P4. We'll get back to Mike Edwards as we're on board with him before. So he's up on his time at the moment. He's currently sitting P11 with a 103.7. Oh, he's invalidated his lap. All right, so he's out. Well, not out, but he's going to have to abort that lap. What about Stuart Little? What's he got? He's P6 in the Williams. He's on a lap at the moment. This is not an out lap or an in lap, I believe. It is an in lap. All right, I make a liar out of myself. I think that was Dace TG coming through. He just set a fast time. So the good thing about this circuit being so short is that you can, if you get it wrong, you can make up for it pretty quickly as well. That's Dace. It's not going to be a better time than he's set already. What about Cornet F1? He's going into the pits. Alright, so Mike Edwards is still out there. It's invalidated. We have 3.5 minutes left. So 3.5 minutes left of this qualifying session. This is round 4 of the SFR League. And it's a bit of a quiet track at the moment. It gives us the opportunity to ride on board with Van Rocco. He is currently P9 at the moment. It's a 103.6. Van Rocco last week, he finished P16. So P16, he qualified P18. So he did improve on the race, so that's good. Other race results for Van Rocco, P11 in France, and also in Australia, he finished P7. So last week was pretty much his worst result of the season. So it's the only way is up from here for my man Van Rocco, and he's going to pit. Did commentary with Van Rocco yesterday for NRL actually. Quite enjoyed it. It was a very good experience doing some commentary with Van Rocco. Alright. This is Delta Lima. Yeah, okay, so Delta Lima is wearing the classic Michael Schumacher helmet. He's in P13 at the moment. We're setting a 104, almost a 104 flat. So we'll see if he can improve that time. Cool Beans, pole sitter from last week, Tribal Road. Disqualified from the session, blocking the pit lane. So he might have had a bit of an escapade there. As we see, Delta Lima doesn't improve his time. So, there he is. There's Tribal Road there. Okay, cool. So he looks like he's spun on the pit exit. So he's disqualified from the session. I think Giamma is coming around. He's way off his best time. Is this Red Dog? No, it isn't. Big Boy, yep. So Big Boy's coming into the pits. Lasse Haverhal's yet to set a time. He's had, I think he was invalidated a lot through there. Will Ans is on his out lap. So Will Ans is coming out to set his qualifying time. His one and only run he can do today. This is Red Dog. He's in P12 at the moment. I'll wait for him to come around. So he's still, P12. Lasse Haverhals is... Oh, no, so I'm looking for the other one. Cool Beans, looking for the other racing point. So Cool Beans moves up into 4th position with a 103.4. So a good run there from the Racing Point, former last week's pole sitter. So it's putting him on the 2nd row at the moment as we're counting down towards the end of qualifying. So we're, looks like... Oh, Giamma's... Oracle. Oracle looks like he's had an accident somewhere. He's lost most of his front wing. All of his front wing, actually. That's all gone. As we see Cornet absolutely screaming past. He's currently P2 at the moment. It's a 103.4. He does a 103.2. Oh, no. Sorry. It was an invalidated lap. All right. So it was invalidated through there. All right. We've got less than 10 seconds left. Lasse Haverhals is going to struggle to set a time at the moment. This is going to be his only shot at it. What about Kachow? He is going to pit, so he's not going to end up setting a time. Will Ans, he is just rounding turn 4 at the moment. So this is his one and only time to set a qualifying position. As we see... Now, Cool Beans is going to pit as well. So we'll stay on board with Will to see what he can set now. With his one and only qualifying time, he hasn't cut any corners, which is a great effort. He's going to hit the... Oh, that was a McLaren there as well. A 104.6. That's good enough for P16, 17. That was Mike Edwards sitting in the middle of the road there in the stricken McLaren. So no good for him. Cornet F1, this is his last charge. No, he's invalidated his lap. What about Frog LaBelle? He's invalidated his lap as well. Stuart Little is still out there, but he's way off. Rainer Zufall has invalidated his lap as well. I think that is about it. Yeah, so the drivers that are out there have invalidated laps. So that is results for qualifying. So it's AlphaTauri of Oracle at 103.29. Pole position time, very quick time. Cornet F1 at 103.4. Followed by Frog LaBelle and Toss the Caber up there in the Haas of 103.4. Very close at the top there with Cool Beans, Dace. Then comes Giamma, Stuart Little, Rainer Zufall, Van Rocco makes the top 10. Good to see a good result from Van Rocco after last week. Then it's Mike Edwards who crashed out at the end there. Red Dog, Delta Lima, good result for Delta Lima. Schieto, Big Boy 85. Honesy in P16, so we'll keep an eye out for Honesy coming from the back of the grid. Will Ernst, Kachow didn't get to set a time, neither did Lasse Haverhals, and Tribal Road was disqualified from the session for blocking the pit exit. So that's our grid. Hopefully we get a nice, exciting race, and we'll get going very shortly. Okay, so we're just waiting for everyone to set their strategy and get ready for the race. Yeah, so everyone will just wait for them, and then we'll be underway. Alright, so what felt like forever looks like we're about to get underway again with the race, so everyone's ready to go. Yeah, we should be getting underway very, very shortly. Alright, so here we are. So 36 lap race. In terms of strategy, tyres and things like that, so tyres here for the soft tyre, you're looking at round about 12 to 15 laps you can sort of stretch out of them. The medium about 20 to 22, and then the hard tyres you get about 27 laps out of them as well. So let's just have a look at tyres. So majority of the runners starting on the soft tyres. Delta Lima, Chieto starting. Well, Delta Lima's on the medium. Chieto is on the hards. Honesy, Willands, Kachow, and Lasse Haverhals are all on the mediums. Everyone else is on the soft tyres. So we'll see how that transpires. That car looks really dirty for considering it's doing its warm-up lap, but anyway, that doesn't really have much an effect. So it looks like everyone's managed to get away pretty well. We don't have any shenanigans coming off the line, which is always good. No one's been disqualified from the session. Short, being such a short lap as well, that you really want to make sure that you're trying to get as much temperature into the tyres as possible and not sitting on that grid for too long, obviously, as well. So yeah, it looks like it was a pretty fast warm-up lap from Oracle and Cornet F1, but that's I'm sure that'll be all right. All right, so they're all making their way onto the grid now. As we wait for everyone at the back there. Okay, so I think everyone's... Yep, awesome. Here we go. So this is round 4, season 2, SFR. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Let's go racing. So Oracle gets a good start. Cornet F1 in there. Looks like Frog LaBelle and the McLaren had a good start. Cool Beans is coming up there as well. Looks like Toss the Caber's gone up the inside into P3 at the moment. Everyone seems to have gotten away quite well. No spinners at the back. Shadow's dropped a position, but so far everyone's relatively clean. It's Cornet F1. Toss the Caber makes another move. So he moves up into second. You've got the AlphaTauri in third. Micah Frog LaBelle in the McLaren is P4. There's been a few guys dropping down as we watch Frog LaBelle come right up behind Oracle. Cool Beans is getting in there as well. We've got some moves in the back of the pack. Delta Lima's received a penalty already. These are 3. Oh, they went 3 wide there for a little bit. So we've already got two penalties given out. Frog LaBelle and Delta Lima, I think. Oh no, that was Lasse Haverhals. So Lasse Haverhals has gone around. That's at turn 8. So he's had, he doesn't look like he has any wing damage, so he's pretty lucky there. And there's a bit of action in the back of the pack from the start. Couldn't quite see it. Willands in 13. Kachow's up there as well. Alright, so relatively good start, except for Lasse Haverhals had a bit of an incident. But so far it's Cornet F1 out in front. He's leading from Toss the Caber in second. Then come Oracle, Frog LaBelle. Willands is making a move on Van Rocco as well. This is going, where are these guys? This is, this is going into turn 4, I believe. So we'll have the inside running, but Van Rocco's going around the outside. This is going to go through turn 5. Not really known for an overtaking spot. So Van Rocco P13, Willands P14, Honesy, last week's winner. He's in P15 at the moment, so not having a great time at the Red Bull Ring currently. Cornet F1 is out in front, setting fastest lap times at the moment, a 106. What about Cool Beans? He's really coming up behind Frog LaBelle, so he's putting a lot of pressure on him at the moment. And that Oracle as well, so he's just put the move onto turn 3 on Tosta Caber, so they've swapped positions 2 and 3. So now it's Cornet, Oracle and Tosta Caber are the podium positions at the moment. Tosta's got the DRS to try and fight back into turn 4. Can he put a move down the outside? I'd say in the inside, no he can't. So Oracle's been able to hold on to that position. What about Rainer Zufor? So he had an alright qualifying. He's currently in P10 at the moment. He's behind Giamma in the other AlphaTauri. As we see Honesy and Will Ans fighting it out, coming through turn 6 at the moment, side by side. Some good racing from these two. So Will is quite well known for his early race overtakes as well. Makes up a lot of positions on lap 1. So he's P14, trying to fend off Honesy in the Renault in P15. We'll see if he can get a pass into turn 1. And as we see Stuart Little and Delta Lima in the back of the pack there as well. Yeah, so Honesy's got a good run out of turn 1. And Will's going to fight him all the way though. Great driving from both of these drives. So we see Delta Lima and Stuart. Oh, a little bit of contact there from Honesy with Will as they come into turn 5. So this is a great little scrap. Will with a big brake lock up. Honesy's got to be able to take advantage of that as they come through turn 5 and 6. But still Will holds on. So Will absolutely dogged and determined to not give this position up to Honesy, not being able to get past. So this has been a great battle for this whole entire lap so far. Great racing from both of those guys. There's a little touch there, but there was nothing malicious about it. Great racing from both of them. With another little brake lock up from Will. We'll see if Honesy can utilise the DRS again. Seems like there's just a couple of little... So he goes off the accelerator a little bit. But Honesy, will he get a penalty for that one? No, he doesn't. But that's rides the curbs as legally as possible. And finally he's able to get past Will Ans, who now comes under direct attack from Delta Lima in the Alfa Romeo. So Delta Lima is going to try and squeeze up the inside, but Will's not going to let him pass that easily. Tribal Road's trying to get on the action, but Delta Lima there now passes. So Will's dropped a couple of positions in the first 2 or 3 turns of this. Tribal Road hit him from behind and he spun around. So Tribal Road, who was blocking the pit lane, is now spun around. He's dropped down into P18. So we've got Cool Beans as well. So last week's pole sitter, he's had a bit of a mission off the track as well. So I don't know. There is damage there. So he's lost the front end plate off the left-hand side. He's going to have to pit. So he's gone into the pits. He's dropped down into P14 so far. Dare say he'll go down towards the end of the pack. So just a quick little recap. We got this battle going on here as well. This is looks like it's Frog LaBelle, Dace TG and Mike Edwards in there as well. No, it's Oracle, Frog LaBelle and Dace. Mike Edwards is behind them at the moment. So as we see Frog LaBelle making the move around the outside of Oracle to go into P3, can't quite get it done. He was just on the grass a little bit there, lost some traction. This is Dace TG that we're going to follow on board with. Mike Edwards wants to get a piece of this action as well. But Frog LaBelle putting all sorts of pressure on Oracle at the moment, while Tosta Caber and Cornet F1 have just skipped away. It's a 2.7 second gap between Cornet F1 and Tosta Caber, moved up to 2.8 seconds now. Oracle, as we can see, is in P3, Frog LaBelle P4, and we're riding on board with 5th place runner Dace TG in the Renault at the moment. So Big Boy 85, he's just received a 3-second time penalty. Laps are starting to tick over now. We're 7 laps into 36. As we're starting to get to see a lot of battles, we'll start to see some pit stops relatively soon. That window will open shortly as we're watching my man Van Rocco take on Big Boy 85. This is for P11 and that was turn 3, so he's been able to do that. We've got someone off in sector 2. It looks like it's a Ferrari. And as we see, Stuart Little receives the 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. So there's, at the moment, there's 8 cars that have received a corner cutting penalty or a penalty of some sort. As who we're on board with now, Rainer Zufel, he's moved his way up in the 10th position. So he's putting a good effort in at the moment. We're back with Dace TG, so he's still trying to get past Frog LaBelle at the moment. So he's got the DRS out of the final turn on the front straight, but so is Frog LaBelle, so that's going to kind of neutralise any advantage that he might have had, and this is going to let Oracle just skip away a little bit now too. So I think Oracle can actually see Toss the Caber. It's about a 2-second gap to him as we see Schieto get a penalty as well. So Dace TG pulling up right behind him. Mike Edwards is pulled up behind on this little pack here too. So it's a Renault McLaren little sandwich here. And Dace will want to try and get past Frog LaBelle as soon as he can, but Frog LaBelle's doing a pretty good job of keeping Dace behind him at the moment. Keeping an eye on sort of some of the guys at the back. So Cool Beans, he's P18 after his issue. Frog LaBelle, sorry, not Frog LaBelle, Tribal Road, he's in P20 at the moment as well. So let's go on board with Mike Edwards. So as we see, Dace receives a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for corner cutting as well. Just scanning through the rest of the field to have a look for some of the other battles. This is pretty much close as what we've got on the track at the moment, but I'll keep an eye. Gap out in front is 3.1 seconds from corner F1 to Toss the Caber, and as we see, Kachow has put a move on Red Dog. So Kachow, after not being able to set a qualifying time, has moved up into P9 at the moment. So a great drive so far from Kachow to get himself up into P9 in the Haas today. So it's 3.4 seconds from P1 to P2. This is Van Rocco on Big Boy 85. Yep. So yeah, Big Boy runs a little bit wide there. Will Ans gets the 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, as we're watching Honesy putting a ton of pressure on Big Boy at the moment. We'll see if he can get the DRS coming up the front straight and take advantage of that as we see Tribal Road. So we have quite a few, over half the field now has time penalties as we're watching Honesy cruise up besides Big Boy 85, and he gets a move done into turn 1, a very popular place for overtaking. So he moves himself up into P12 at the moment, and Big Boy drops down into P13. Let's get back to this battle here between Frog LaBelle, Dace and Mike Edwards at the front. Delta Lima's just overtaken Will as well. Can Will fight back? He's going to try and go down the inside of turn 4. Little brake lock up. Don't think there was any contact there. Oh, Delta Lima. A little brake lock up. Had a great battle with Toss the Caber in the NRL League yesterday. Frog LaBelle and Dace are fighting it out still. I think someone's pitted. Oracle's pit. So as we see Frog LaBelle running very wide. But so pit Will Ans is pitting as well. So it's lap 11. So the soft runners, we can expect a few more of those to start coming into the pits. Kachow, he had moved up into P7, but I think he ran a little bit wide at turn 1 there. So he's P8 currently. What about Honesy? Next on Honesy's list is Van Rocco in the Alfa Romeo. So we'll see if Honesy can get past Van Rocco in the Alpha. Gap out in front, 3.7 seconds. Well, 3.8 now, 3.9 now. Nearly 4. I wonder if Toss has had some kind of little issue there. Frog LaBelle receives a 3-second time penalty as well. Dace TG and Mike Edwards both pitting at the moment, so they're both in there. As Honesy crosses the line. So we're lap 12 of 36. We're third race distance at the moment. And Kachow wants to get on an absolute charge through the field. He did something similar in Austria as well in the Nemesis Racing League. Started on the hard tyre, I believe, that race, but he's absolutely flying at the moment. He's moved himself up into P5. Does like this circuit, so we're going to see him as a legitimate contender as the race unfolds. So this is Honesy. What about Shieto and Dace TG? So I think Dace has pitted. So is Mike Edwards. I don't think Shieto has pitted yet either in Delta Lima. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so stops. Cool Beans, Stuart Little, Will Ann's Tribal Road, Dace TG, Mike Edwards and Oracle have all pitted. And as I say that, Van Rocco and Giamma have gone into the pits as well. So let's see if Dace can get past Shieto. He had the DRS as he comes through into turn 1, gets the DRS again. Shieto has DRS as well, but Dace has a pretty good run and he's on the medium tyres. They're fresher rubber. He's going to put a move up the inside into turn 3 as Shieto runs a little bit wide and Dace is able to regain that position back from him, so he moves himself up into P11 at the moment. So he's just coming through the field after his pit stop. We'll keep on board with him because next on his hit list is Delta Lima. He goes around the outside of turn 6, so that's quite a brave move from Dace to go around the outside of turn 6. So looks like those fresh medium tyres are suiting him at the moment. He's got full confidence in the grip of those tyres, so he's putting a move around Delta Lima. So, as I say that though, he runs very, very wide at turn 1. So maybe those mediums aren't as nice as he thought they were. We see Lasse Haverhals. He joins the penalty party. He gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. All right, lap 14. It's still Cornet F1 from Toss the Caber. Frog LaBelle in P3. Kachow has moved up into P4 now. Honesy's moved himself up through the field as well. He's in P6. Obviously, we've had some pit stops as well, so we're going to have to wait for all of that to shake out. But some of the cream is starting to rise to the top at the moment. Looks like Stuart Little and Cool Beans in a bit of a battle here at the moment. As we see Stuart Little in the Williams today, he moves so Delta Lima gives him a little nudge for his troubles, and Cool Beans gets through as well. So Delta Lima drops a couple of positions there. Stuart Little and Cool Beans move through. Starting to see some more pits. So Toss the Caber has pitted. So is Frog LaBelle. Honesy moving past Rainer Zufall for P3. Kachow has now moved into P2 and Cornet F1 is still in P1 as we speak, but those guys haven't pitted at the moment. So the ones that have pitted, the top 6 guys haven't, and neither has Shieto or Lasse Haverhals either, or Delta Lima. Alright, so we're going to keep our eyes on Cornet F1. He's coming around turn 9 at the moment, and he's looking like he's going to pit. Alright, so will Honesy and Kachow follow suit and pit as Cornet F1 does? No, they don't. They're going to go longer as well. Looks like Kachow though. Oh no, Kachow's gone into P1. Okay, cool. Alright. So they're on the medium tyres as well. They could probably... Oh, they wouldn't be able to get home from the softs at the moment. So we're going to have to wait for them to pit. Who else is pitting? That's Giamma, I think, or Rainer Zufor. Rainer Zufor pitted too. So the top two haven't stopped yet, and Schietto as well we're waiting for, as Lasse Haverhals comes in as well as Big Boy. Alright, so lap 16 of 36. As we see, one of the Ferraris has ghosted out. And then Giamma and Schietto battling it out. This is P9 and P10 at the moment. So points are on the table here. It's just keeping an eye at the top. We'll see. So it looks like Kachau and Honesy still going around. They're on the mediums. Their window would be around about now. Cornet F1 is not far behind them at all. And then you've got Oracle, Dace and Toss the Caber. So yeah, the two guys out in front, not in the best position at the moment in terms of pit stops. Alright. Where is... we're on board with Toss the Caber. Dace TG is going to try to go around the outside of turn 3. We've already seen one audacious overtaking move by Dace. I thought we were just about to see another. He's going to drag down the straight to turn 4. Between him and Oracle, Toss the Caber's just sitting back watching all of this. He'll see if he can swoop in and take Oracle as well, and he can, yeah. So Oracle loses 2 positions there. Toss moves his way back up into P5, and then Dace TG is in P4 at the moment. So just sitting behind Cornet F1 as we see Kachau and Honesy go around again. So they're yet to pit still. Looks like Rainer Zufall is going to try and go around the inside of Schietto. He does, makes that look pretty easy. Good move from Rainer Zufall. So he moves his way up into P10 at the moment. We're on board with Toss the Caber, who looks like he did that pretty easily. So he overtakes Dace TG and he moves up into P4 on track at the moment, but once the front two pit, he will be P2 from Cornet F1. Oracle's on the back of these guys at the moment, as we see Cool Beans. He put a move on Stuart Little in the Williams. So Cool Beans has moved his way up into P14 at the moment. Can Stuart Little fight back, put it up the inside of turn 4? Yes, he can. He's on the hard tyres as well. So this is a good battle between these two. They're going to take it through to turn 5. Stuart Little running the outside. He'll be on the inside for turn 6, the optimum line. Oh, no, he won't. He's still got the... But it didn't matter. He got the line through there anyway. So a nice little battle between Stuart Little and Cool Beans there. This is Red Dog. So he's in P13, just in front of that group we were looking at before. Just keeping an eye out front at the moment. So Honesy and Kachau still yet to pit. And Cornet F1 is starting to close the gap on them very quickly at the moment as well. So I'd say those two out in front are just going to try and ride their luck for as long as they can and see where they flush out. But Cornet F1 though is closing very, very quickly. So you might even pass them before they pit. Okay, so we're lap 20 of 36. So over the halfway mark now. Been a pretty good race so far. Austria being a tight little circuit. Been a fair bit of action. We've seen some good overtakes today, some clean racing. The best thing, we still have all 20 runners. So all 20 runners, and just about all 20 runners also have a penalty as well. So there's only, out of the 20 runners, there's only 5 that are actually don't have a penalty of some sort at the moment. So that's going to create a little bit of will be a bit interesting once the race is finished to see how it shakes out. Hopefully it doesn't have an effect on who wins, but it might change a few places around. So we'll have to wait and see. That's 16 laps away. We've got a lot more action to go before we get to that point. So this is Frog LaBelle we're riding on board with. He's trying to move himself past Oracle in the AlphaTauri, who's in P6. And Honesy's finally pitted. So Honesy's finally in the pits. And Cornet F1 has inherited P2. We'll just see how far Honesy drops down. I'd say probably about, he'll shake out just in front of Giamma there, possibly. Where does he come out? No, so Rainer Zufall. So Honesy finishes in P9. He's gone on to the soft tyres. Making them last 15 laps is going to be a bit of a mission, but I'd say he could possibly do that. It's not outside the realms of possibility. We haven't had any safety cars either, which is good. So if he gets the safety car, that would work in his favour. So I think the only person left to pit now looks like it's Schieto and Kichau, who's currently P1. Oracle receives a 3-second time penalty. The man that we're on board with at the moment yet to receive a penalty, only one of 5 cars. As we see, Kichau has finally pitted as well. So he's gone on to he's gone on to the softs as well. So he's gone for the medium soft strategy, and he's probably going to come out just in front of Honesy, who he was battling it out for with P1, P2. Let's see if we can get there. Yes, he is. So can Honesy use the momentum? His tyres are already a little bit warmed up. So as we see, my man Van Rocco receive another penalty. So this might be a good little battle here now between these three. It's Cornet F1 from Toss to Caber. It's a 5-second gap. Just behind Toss though is Dace TG in the Renault in P3. Toss is in a good position there. He hasn't had a penalty yet for this race, so he's looking good for that. It's Oracle in P4, Frog LaBelle in P5. Then it's Mike Edwards. Oh, as we were watching Honesy almost get around Kichau there, because Kichau ran a little bit wide. Yeah, wow, okay. So we have a couple of guys who have DRS. Kichau's got DRS. So he's got the inside line into turn 1. He's going to be able to take Giamma for position there. So Kichau, he did receive a 3-second time penalty for that manoeuvre as well, though he ran that corner a little bit too, he cut it a little bit too much. So Kichau's P7, and Honesy is going to try and move himself up into P8. Yes, he does. So Giamma drops down into P10. So Kichau and Honesy sort of following each other at the moment for most of this race. As we see Will Ann's trying to put a move on he almost lost it. He's on those hard tyres at the moment. So he was temporarily in P15, but is currently back in P16 at the moment. We're on board with Cool Beans. This is currently P14. What about Honesy and Kichau? This has been a great battle all race. Honesy we'll see if he can get DRS and make a run up into turn 3, a very popular overtaking corner. No, he can't. Kichau defends pretty well there. Nice lines through there. So Honesy will have to bide his time as we see Delta Lima receive another penalty. We're here with Frog LaBelle. So the two McLarens have had a good race today. They're P5, P6. So they've been competitive throughout. We've got 12 laps left. of the Austrian Grand Prix for the Switchback Racing League. It's Corne F1 doing it pretty easily. As we see, Dace is pitting. So I wonder if this was scheduled. I don't know. I don't think it was. Is it some sort of drive-through? No, it's not a drive-through. It's definitely... He had pitted. Will Ans gets a penalty. So I'm not too sure what's happened there. This is good for Kachow and Honesy though. They've both moved up again. They're P7, P8. Sorry, P6, P7. Red Dog 44 receives a penalty. So then there were only four drivers without a penalty today. That's Toss the Caber, Honesy, Giamma and Cool Beans. The rest have all got at least one penalty to their name. As we see Stuart Little and Red Dog battling it up towards turn 3. Cool Beans is in behind these guys as well. Big Boy and Will Ans. So Will Ans, second time around. I think he overcooked it last lap. But this time, his DRS is opening and closing. It's a bit odd. We'll get back to this little battle here. It's a 5.5 second gap from P1 to P2. Oracle's now in P3. It's Frog LaBelle and Mike Edwards, the two McLarens in P4, P5. And here's another good little battle here between Honesy, Kachow and Mike Edwards. So these two have been together for most of the race. It's almost like they're just dragging each other up through the field as they're trying to put some pressure on Mike Edwards in the McLaren, who's currently running in P5, as we see Schieto drop the fastest lap, a 106.3. I think the pressure might have got to Mike Edwards there. He's run wide, and it's allowed both Kachow and Honesy to get through. So, he runs wide again. So hopefully he can keep it straight. He's had a good race. Delta Lima sets the fastest time at 106.3. But to the matter at hand, I wonder if Mike Edwards has an issue. I'm not too sure. Maybe those tyres are given way. And Stuart Little receives another penalty. So can one of these two get onto the podium at the moment? Or as we see Oracle and Toss the Caber. So this is for P2. Oracle going up through turn 3. So he had the inside run. So he's dropped Toss the Caber down into P3. Frog LaBelle's in the background of these two as well. Can Toss fight back? He's had a good race so far. He comes up quite... He finally gets a penalty. Then there were 3. Honesy, Giamma and Cool Beans yet to get a penalty. Delta Lima gets another one after setting the fastest lap the previous lap. So we now have a new P2. Wonder how those tyres are going for Toss the Caber. They don't look like they're the best condition at the moment. We still have 9 laps left. So we just ticked over 28, sorry. Lap 28 to 36. Frog LaBelle picks up another penalty as well. Okay, so we'll just have a quick look at Dace TG because he's putting all sorts of pressure on Rainer Zufor. So he had those soft tyres. I'm not too sure what that stop was in the name of, but if it was an incident... Oracle and Toss the Caber battling it out again. So Toss the Caber's been able to go up the inside again at turn 3, and he's been able to retake P2. So this is a cracking battle between Oracle in the AlphaTauri and Toss in the Haas. So I think his best finishing position so far is P4 this season in the Switchback Racing League. So he's on for a P2 podium position at the moment. As we see Dace TG, he overtakes Rainer Zufor, so he moves up into P8 as Delta Lima picks up another penalty. So it's the Kachow and Honesy show. They're both in P5, P6. Delta Lima gets another penalty. He's going to have an abundance of penalties to go through at the end of this race. Honesy sets the fastest time at 105.6. So he's charging through the field. at the moment with him and Kachow. They're still about 4 seconds behind Frog LaBelle as it stands at the moment. And Holmes is starting to put a little bit of pressure on Kachow. He's closing that right up. I'll keep an eye at the front there as well with Oracle and Toss the Caber. I think Mike Edwards is putting a move on Cool Beans. Yes, he is. So that's going up into turn 3, and he's going to try and get past Stuart Little as well. So Mike Edwards takes two positions in one foul swoop there. Nice driving from the McLaren driver. So those softs that he's pitted for have worked out pretty well for him. I'm just seeing, I don't know if Holmes is going to try and overtake Kachow, or if they're just happy to run P5, P6 until the end of the race. Oracle's closed the gap again on Toss the Caber. So he's P3, this is P2, P3 that we're looking at. What about Cool Beans and Stuart Little? Did we see someone pitting there? No, we didn't. Oh yeah, we did. Stuart Little went into the pits. So that's good for Cool Beans. He moves up into P12. This is Dace all over the back of Giamma. We've got 6 laps to go. Lap 30 of 36 in the Austrian Grand Prix for Switchback Racing League. Wherever you are, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on replay, thanks for coming along. Hope you're enjoying it. Mike Edwards receives a time penalty. I guess the big question is, will everyone get a penalty? Cool Beans, Giamma and Honesy are the only ones to yet to receive a penalty, as we see Mike Edwards taking over Van Rocco there. So Mike Edwards back in the points. Oh, I think Van Rocco ran a little bit wide there as well, so he's dropping down. Will Ans is still way behind him. I don't think he received any damage, so he just ran a little bit wide there. Oh, Kachow. So Kachow and Honesy have finally swapped spots. So Honesy has been fast. He set a fastest lap a couple of laps, about a lap ago. So we'll see if he can chase down Frog LaBelle. He's currently 2 seconds behind him at the moment for P4. Just wanted to see Oracle and Toss the Caber, how they're going. Looks like Toss is, yeah, he dropped down to P3 earlier. Maybe there was a little mistake that he made that Oracle was able to take advantage of, but it looks like Toss has regained his composure and he's sitting comfortably back into P2 again. Tribal Road receives another penalty. Honesy is absolutely just charging down Frog LaBelle at the moment, as Dace TG puts the move on Giamma. So Dace, the fellow Renault driver, he moves up into P7. So some nice points today for the Renault team. Lasse Haverhals receives a penalty. Let's stay on board with Honesy, see how quickly he can chase down Frog LaBelle. I don't know if there will be enough time left for Honesy to get to track down Oracle to get onto the podium. He did something similar last week. He started back further this week than he did last week. It would be pretty close to the end though that he'd have to do it. It'd be like a last lap effort, but we'll keep an eye on it. Adds to the excitement as we see Red Dog and Van Rocco swapping positions. We'll get back to Honesy though, because I reckon he's going to have DRS here coming up into turn 3. Yep, and he makes that move very easily. Nice inside line. The man with no penalties as well. So, oh, he does get it a little bit loose coming out there, which opens up the door for Frog LaBelle. So Frog LaBelle's able to slip past again because of that mistake from Honesy. Kachow's not really been able to capitalise on this, but Honesy is definitely faster than Frog Labelle at the moment, it looks like. With those older tyres that Frog Labelle would be on, those older mediums. In saying that though, those soft tyres that Honesy's on would getting towards the end as well. So both these guys would have tyres that are not probably feeling the absolute best at the moment. As we come onto the front straight. So Honesy's going to have another go at this. We'll see if he can get it done into turn 1. No, he can't, even with the DRS. Kachow closing right up. He might leave it for turn 3. So here we go, Act 2. Honesy does what he did last lap. Makes the move into turn 3. Can he pull it up? Oh, he runs a little bit deep. Not too bad. We see Kachow get a little bit loose at the back there as well. And Honesy did the exact same thing. So, and Frog Labelle. Oh, so we've got to move at the front here. This is Toss the Caber and Oracle for P2. Coming through turn 6. Can Oracle, yeah, hold on here, he does. He's on the hard tyres. Tosses on the mediums. Ooh, I thought he was going to have a look there into turn 9. Alright, so I'm not too sure. Toss was looking pretty comfortable in P2 there, so not too sure what's happened. Honesy is going to overtake Frog Labelle for about the 3rd time in 2 laps. But can he actually make it finally stick? He was the other 2 times with turn 3. Frog Labelle has the DRS coming into turn 3. So Honesy took him into turn 1. Here goes Kachow up the inside now of turn 3. Schietto gets a time penalty. Kachow says, I've had enough of this, Honesy. Let me have a go at him. Yeah, Honesy just couldn't quite, he could get past, but he couldn't stay in that position. As we see him going up the inside of turn 4 on Kachow. So he's able to regain that position. He's in P5 as he comes around turn 6. Now turn 7, the second left-hander. So he's been able to maintain that. And Oracle has been able to stay in P2. So we saw those two battling it out. So it's lap 36 as well. We're on the final lap. All this action, I'm sort of losing a little bit of track at the moment, but it's the final lap. As Honesy, can he finally get past Frog Labelle? Oh, turn 1. He doesn't have a penalty either, so this is going to be good for him. He could move up. I don't think he'd be able to move up into a podium position. They're going 3 wide, so 3 wide down the straight into turn 4. Frog Labelle's lost 2 positions. Honesy gets around in turn 3. Can he get the traction out of there, or is Kachow going to beat him? Kachow is going to beat him. So Kachow's moved up into P4 as Honesy's still in P5. Frog Labelle's going to have another go into turn 4. I want to make sure I get Cornet crossing the line. He's coming around very shortly. We'll stay with this battle for as long as I can. But Cornet F1 almost coming around the final turn. We've barely seen him today. He's led from pretty much start to finish. Cornet F1 takes victory in the SFR round 4 in Austria. Oracle's going to hold on for P2 at the moment. It's Toss the Caber in P3. Kachow's going to finish on track in P4. It's Honesy in P5 on track. He's moved up into P4. Frog Labelle's dropping down, so we'll wait for all the penalties to shake out. But that was a cracking race. There's some excellent action towards the end there, trying to keep up with it all. But it looks like it's Cornet F1, Oracle, and Toss the Caber is our podium. Honesy's finished in P4 after all of that. Kachow P5, Jama in 6th, Dace in 7th. Frog Labelle's ended up in 8th position. Rainer Zufor, Mike Edwards round out the top 10. It's Schietto. Oh, we're still waiting for it all to work itself out. Coolbean, Mike Edwards gets points in P10. Coolbean, Schietto, Red Dog, Stuart Little in 14th. Big Boy Van Rocco finishes in 16th. Will Ann 17th. Lasse Haverhals and Tribal Road bring up 18th and 19th position. And Delta Lima was disqualified. Wow. What a race. That was good. That was pretty exciting. Congratulations to Cornet F1. There was I didn't see who ended up with all the penalties. Kachow, driver of the day. I'd have to say I agree. Great to see Tosta Kaber finally get a podium as well. P3 for him. So well done to Toss and well done to Cornet and Oracle as well for their P1, P2. So we'll watch the podium celebrations. Spraying the champagne there. We'll just do a little recap and then we'll get out of here. All right, that's our finishing positions. So a lot of penalties. So who didn't end up with penalties? Honesy, Giamma and Coolbean. So they were the only three not to end up with penalties. So congrats to them. All right, well, that's been round 4 of the Switchback Racing League. Congratulations to Cornet F1 on a cracking victory. Great drive. Well done to everyone else. That wraps it up for now. So next week, round 5, we will be in Singapore. So hopefully you can join us then. Until then, stay safe, take care of yourself, and we will see you next time.